Welcome to Sam Outside. I'm Sam and I'm outside doing something a little different today. A bit of a weather event. We had some tornado warnings yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, in the morning. Woke up to no power. I woke up to some debris in the yard and through the forest. I've already been on my walk with the Indiana Bones, got in my steps, but no power means no coffee. All right, so I've got some battery banks that are great for charging devices. Keep the family in touch, let them know we're okay, but I'm not going to use those reserves for the kettle. So what I've got today is a Kelly Kettle. So the Kelly Kettle is something that I use as a certified forest therapy guide to the final invitation is that of a tea ceremony where we literally break bread and a chance to decompress and sort of start to reconnect with the actual world after a 2 to 3 hour experience. So the Kelly Kettle is portable. It comes with its own little fire bowl. I've already started the fire, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the actual Kelly Kettle inside, or full of water right now. So this is the smaller version. I just need enough coffee for myself. This is the one I would bring out, and so in the bowl we've got the fire, and the idea is that the Kelly Kettle will then sit on top. What's unique about its design is that it is its own chimney. So what we see here is the small hole, right? That's on the top. The water is inside the kettle. So the chamber sort of has, right? So that's the inside wall, that's the outside wall. So the water is literally just around inside here. So all the heat's going to get funneled, all the heat. So it's very efficient that way. As I understand it, it is an Irish design. So it is something that fishermen would use out on the boat. So long days out fishing, not a lot of warmth. So the capacity to have fire, to have light, and to warm up a lunch, call it not even a shore lunch, right? They're doing this out in the boat. So the idea is here is that I can keep feeding my fire. There's some little spots underneath, and I started my fire, with just some birch bark. And as a guide, I want to come prepared, so I've got pieces of wood that are pre-cut to fit the stove. So obviously this little guy right here, much smaller pieces. All right, so I'm looking for something that's about 4 inches. And again, with the one that I bring out, I've got some 6-inch pieces here that I bring in a small tote. I want to come prepared. So yeah, obviously when I go out, I've got a hatchet, I've got a knife, I've got a small saw, things like that. Can provide cover. Can provide some comfortable seating for people, cushions. But the firewood itself, the intentional choice here for a softwood, at least to get my fire going, is cedar. It's very aromatic. It lights super quickly. And once I got this fire going, pardon me, I'm just going to become a little more focused here with my morning coffee routine, which I'm out of. Right. So the wooden handle where the hips, you can see the flames are sparking out the top there. I'm just going to put that over there. So now that I've got that funnel, air coming in through the little vents underneath, flames shooting right out the top, you can already start to hear the water inside. So when I start switching from cedar into some hardwood, some maple, some birch, even some red oaks, got the highest BTUs. Again, I want to be efficient. So at this time on the walk, I'd invite people to have small bits of dried fruit. Dark chocolate's always a favorite, selection of meats and crackers and cheeses. And I usually try and tailor that experience to my clientele. And so I want to be able to make some intentional efforts there. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's a show. All right. So the water's going to boil, but this little green cap, the instruction here is to have this spout down. So it's got an overflow spout to avoid pressure, but it will actually whistle, right? So there's a nice little alarm. I'll grab it by the wooden handle and take it off the fire. If I had something I wanted to cook, the kit does come with a small grill I can put on top, or after I'm done boiling my water, I can go ahead and put it on the cup. It does come with a little bowl, a little lid if I want some soup, or maybe even some oatmeal. And the Kelly Kettle itself does come with its own little cup, right, that fits inside. So everything fits inside this nice little bit of kit. It all stores up inside the green bag here. So the Kelly Kettle was introduced to me a long time ago during hunting season. My grandfather had some hunting partners they go out with, and the Kelly Kettle was something that I grew up with. different forms of it. I've seen people make their own, but the product itself, when I was going through my 8-day intensive training to become a certified forest therapy guide with the Global Institute of Forest Therapy and Nature Connection, or GIFT, the guides that were training us, and there were several, we had about four guides, they would all pack this, and of course with that comes the maybe a small blanket, an assortment of small teacups, and small bowls for serving the food, and all the food is there, the snacks or the treats are right there. But the Kelly Kettle, this obviously takes up a bit of space. And of course, you're carrying water, and as a guide, I'm carrying first aid kits and maybe other trail markers, other resources I might be using as I plan for different invitations. But the Kelly Kettle itself, something a lot of people don't see, and while I'm preparing the tea ceremony, while I'm preparing that final activity, the participants are normally participating in their second last activity, which is a solo sit, or meeting a tree. So off on their own, spending 15-20 minutes. And so often as a guide, I do take that time to participate myself, but I usually do find 5 minutes to sneak away, prep the tea ceremony, so that when I do call participants back from their solo sit, from their meeting with the tree, they come to this opening where there's a little fire going. They can start, maybe smell it, and they see the blanket down with tea and treats. So it's a nice aha moment, right? A chance for us to break bread and debrief and share some moments. So I've used this beyond my forest therapy walks, right? Times like this, we've pulled out the Kelly Kettle throughout a number of our power outages. It's just that it's just where we live. So yeah, it's a nice treat, whether I'm making tea or whether I'm making coffee, or even if I just want to have the means to warm up some soup, even grill some sausage here on top of the grill, little fire pit. So it really is a nice complete kit, and it doesn't take up a lot of weight relative to camping stoves with fuel. Where we come from often, depending on the conservation area or the park that I'm in, there are some concerns around fires if there are no fire pits or designated fire burning areas. So having the capacity to bring in your own fire pit and participate in some, leave no trace. All right, so I'm doing this on my deck, but often I would also have a tin plate, something left over from a purchased pie or a lasagna that comes in a pretty thick gauged aluminum plate. So I'll fold that up and put it in my pack as a liner and use that as space, not to scar the soil, or if I can, I'll put the Kelly Kettle up on a rock or even a couple logs just to avoid any scarring of the ground, right? So nobody would ever know that we were there and had an active fire. So if I needed to, I could drop more wood inside the chimney. I know it's not going to go anywhere. Make sure that flame, I can almost hear the boil now. Right, just drop some little pieces in there. If I needed to, I could use my bellows to do a little poking around if I needed to. If I was conscious about the wind, I could rotate it and put the little air vents here out. So looking forward to this morning coffee. I'm a bit off my routine. Normally I'd have the coffee before I go out, but I did want to take advantage of the time I had, the quiet, other than the generators running in the background. It's still raining a little bit, but I'm not nervous about getting too wet. So I can hear the water boiling. The Kelly Kettle itself, there are so many places online where you can purchase it, any outdoor outfitter, or you can go to Kelly Kettle, their website, go through little tutorials, watch little videos from the manufacturer itself, learn about the history of the Kelly Kettle. It's an ingenious little bit of history. It just shows the resilience and the adaptability of people who lived at a different time. So a little bit of water starting to come out through the spout here. Just hear the beginnings of the whistle. So that's my cue. All right. It's coffee time. All right. So this is something I enjoy doing. Smell of fire, morning coffee. I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you watching. Please go outside. I'll talk to you again soon.